Is there supposed to be a certain protocol for people to check in?
No, and I begin with me, and then he can speak, and they can speak for the other generation. But I'm a never, you know what I mean? We don't have time for no sucker shit like that.
Know the reason, but what is the reason why you moved to Houston?
Well, look, first of all, like every time I've experienced Houston, like when I was out here, I ran into random acts of kindness. Like the people have been good to me. You know what I'm saying? So it's one of the places that I'm like, man, or maybe Houston, like Houston or Miami popped into my head. Mm-hmm. They said 58%. I said, what? You my partner? The IRS is my partner now? I don't know. All you get is a Yankee hat? I'm going to Houston.
It appears at 50, Cent just revealed something shocking that could help to clarify why his conflict with Quay. Where are we conflict with J. Prince and Supreme McGriff's people is much more intense than anyone had previously believed. He's sharing information that suggests this could be far more severe than a rap feud. People initially thought that 50's refusal to check in with J. Prince was just another ego conflict. But now 50 is openly implying that there was a genuine conspiracy to have him killed, and he's naming names. Even more bizarre is the fact that Supreme's own son is supposedly engaged. And Rick Ross may even be joining forces with 50's well-known adversaries in an attempt to escalate the situation, particularly now that 50 is revealing the links between J. Prince Supreme's legacy and these subtle behind-the-scenes actions. The images are beginning to blend together. Could this be the reason behind 50's abrupt withdrawal from Houston? There a true plot developing behind closed doors. Let's dissect it all. Houston was the first to do it. J. Prince manages that metropolis as if it were his own independent business. And when artists arrive, they're supposed to check in. This is presented as a show of respect, but to many it feels more like a shakedown, especially when you consider who is harmed even after checking in.
Is there supposed to be a certain protocol for people to check in?
No, and I begin with me, and then he can speak, and they can speak for the other generation. But I'm a never, you know what I mean? We don't have time for no sucker shit like that.
J. Prince expected 50 Cent to follow the rules when he moved to Houston, but 50 didn't. He refused to check in that he owed no one anything and that he had his own money and security and wasn't going to follow street codes that he didn't believe in. For J. Prince, that was the ultimate slap in the face. 50 wasn't just visiting either. He moved there full time. He tweeted, "I love New York, but I live in Houston now." People also assumed it had to do with taxation, which made logical sense. Although the 50s are a businessman and New York taxes are outrageous, there was more to it. His plans were ambitious. He was setting up like a boss with a $20 million G-Unit film studio and alcohol branding deals that benefited the community and schools. But here's the twist. It was inevitable that he would offend people because he was acting on J. Prince's property without permission, without checking in, and without showing any regard for the so-called gatekeepers.
For me to start a new relationship with Houston, I'm excited about it. I had an opportunity. I had a lot of fun things for the kids. I think that they're really going to get a chance to appreciate and enjoy it.
Immediately, there were rumors that there was pressure behind the scenes to keep 50 from stepping through specific doors since he was being observed. Some even said that crews were waiting to see if he would make a mistake, but 50 refused to, backed down, and even pushed harder. He believed that all of this check-in jargon was only a tactful way of saying extortion. And he may have a point given that even those that checked in were still stuck in awkward situations. Takeoff was checked in. Even so, it was gone. Even though Jacob the jeweler tried to remain low, he was nonetheless struck. From the perspective of the 50s, why give up money and authority for ineffective protection? He recognized it for what it was. False protection. Furthermore, once you've don't be afraid, for you survived what he experienced. Then suddenly the atmosphere changed and 50 discreetly left Houston, halted the movie studio idea, and moved everything to Shreveport, state of Louisiana. Though it was a silent gesture, It conveyed a lot. People did not understand he was given a literal key to the streets of this city. In one moment during an interview, Houston said, "Why leave now? Houston didn't embrace me as I had anticipated, which meant that everything had changed and he didn't feel safe." In the midst of all of this, 50 was still being acknowledged, served as the parade's grand marshal for Thanksgiving. 50 Cent Day was observed in Houston on November 24th. One individual wasn't applauding, but the mayor was showing him love, and the community was applauding. J. Prince.
And so today, we have the honor of saying to him, he's our 2022 Grand Marshal. Give it up to Curtis 50 Jackson.
50 was strolling around his city with too much power, too much attention, and no check-in, according to insiders who claimed he was furious. The focus shifted from cloud computing to control, and 50 was stealing it. As everything was beginning to calm down, however, Supreme McGriff appeared. That is extremely serious if you are familiar with the past of the 50s. 50 was shot 9 times in the early 2000s. People think that Supreme's crew was involved because 50 released a song called Ghetto Quran, in which he revealed information about Queens' Supreme Street legends and mentioned names.
Nigga like 50, there's only 4 niggas that I know personally in Queens that wasn't scared of Preem. 50, E-Money Bags, Homo, and Big Nose Troy.
Supreme didn't take well to it. It was snitching, not just a song. Shortly after 50 was hit, he survived, became well known, and used the incident to establish his brand. But Supreme took a serious hit. Though incarcerated, he never lost his cool, which gained him a deal of respect. In the meantime, 50 used the same tale for interviews, in bars, and in movies. In the end, he never forgot how he transformed suffering into wealth.
You know I have the resilience to go against anybody. Like, there's nobody that's do that. Those are the guys that you would choose not to go against at that point. Just in the environment.
A pivotal player in this entire affair, Irv Gotti, appeared. With Supreme, Irv was more than simply cool, they were family. When things became difficult, Irv supported Supreme by helping to finance his legal battle. Do not turn his back or snitch. That devotion was crucial to Supreme. He also destroyed Irv's label at 50. They were left in the dust when Murder Inc. overthrew Ja Rule, even after becoming 50. Irv continued to submit dubious content online. Following the announcement that Irv had suffered a stroke, 50 shared a picture of himself smoking a hookah with a phony gravestone and a caption, "God bless that Gotti pack. Nay, I'm smoking on it." When the stroke hit 50 the day before, I wrote, "Damn, I wanted him to see my new shows." Well, that didn't sit well with, if I said I was smoking on your mother and your grandfather, Pac Ninjas would be telling me I'm wrong, right? Supreme's son McGriff Jr. posted on Instagram before becoming viral. He said, "You all adore this clown," and called 50 a clown. "I'll supply the same amount of energy every time. No one is able to inform me. Nothing." To the ultimate disrespecting. Irv was like disrespecting his family. This is where things start to get serious. 50 began posting hints on the internet. Then it happened that 50 allegedly leaked information about conversations between Jay, Prince's crew, and Supreme's son. It was said that they were trying to set him up, get him out of the way, or pressure him, or worse. 50 didn't hide it, and he even started trolling J. Prince directly, daring him to show up. Just when things couldn't get any hotter, Rick Ross appeared in the picture. 50 and J. Prince have been at odds for years, and there are endless shots of lawsuits and family drama. They don't get along at all, but recently, Ross was spotted hanging out with members of Supreme's camp. While this may have seemed random to most to 50 people, it appeared to be an alliance. Ross forming a relationship with the son of the guy who attempted to kill him was a brave gesture, and 50 people took it as a sign.
It's for you, man. You the only one in Miami with that, baby. You know the see what it is. You know the vibes. See what it is. Yeah.
Here's where things start to get crazy. It is rumored that this brief gathering wasn't merely for display. According to reports, that link-up was a part of a larger scheme to remove 50 players. Since 50 continued to disparage Gervais online even after his death, some sources claim that Supreme McGriff Jr. is done being polite. The stakes are further raised by J. Prince's involvement. See, J. Prince is supposedly attempting to make an example of 50, and he's not just furious because he didn't check in. If 50 gets away with breaking the alleged norms, other rappers may begin to disregard the check-in culture as well. In all honesty, 50 Cent may want to keep his eyes open because when you examine more closely, when you look into J. Prince's past, you begin to see how deeply ingrained his roots are. He is more than just a music executive. According to reports, this man advanced through the ranks of the game with genuine street support and genuine contacts. His name was appearing in federal records as early as the late 1980s. He allegedly had lines from Mexico that led directly to the South, transporting big goods through Texas, Louisiana, and perhaps Chicago. This was worldwide and well organized. It wasn't trivial. Around that period, he supposedly became friends with Larry Hoover, the founder of the Gangster Disciples. And when that link was established, the entire game was moved from Houston to the Midwest, which abruptly had a full pipeline with J. Prince at its core.
This was the idea of my father, seeing that it was connections to Drake and Kanye, and that they were such iconic figures, and with them going through things.
Suddenly, it displays Rapat Records. In the streets, it was perceived as a front to clean up all that street money, even though it appeared to be a label showcasing Houston talent. Not that the feds were ignorant either. The D formed a significant case against JPRs and Ropalette by 1988 following shipments, tapping phones, observing houses, switching drivers, and pressuring associates. However, just when it appeared that they were closing in, everything disappeared. The U.S. Attorney General terminated the matter completely by the late 1990s. No fees, no headlines, just quiet. This type of stuff doesn't just happen. Not until you have significant influence. Now, fast forward to today, and 50C may be treading on some toes that have been dangerous for decades. What do you think? Is 50C paranoid? Or is he just calling it out before something happens? Is there a real setup going on behind the scenes? Or are these just ego and power games playing out in the open? Please share your thoughts in the comments section, because if this drama continues, you can be sure we'll be here to break it down. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and enable notifications, as the drama is far from over.